I'm Father Terrance, and in this video we're going to continue our talk on being respectful in marriage, in particular here with our attitudes and our actions or interactions with our spouse. In general, it's helpful that when you enter the married life, or even if you're already in the married state, you should assume that you have some character flaws and defects to work on in regards to relationships, whether the flaws are big or small. It's a good thing and a humble thing to acknowledge that we still need to grow in maturity in some ways. And in marriages, people often repeat the patterns of interactions with their family members that they actually learned growing up. Some of the patterns were probably good and okay, some probably not so good. It's important to be able to identify your unhealthy and hurtful patterns of relating to your spouse so you can begin to change the only person that you actually can change and that you need to change, which is yourself. It's always the hardest thing to do, but it's the thing that we need to aim at, essentially. One of the gifts of marriage is that it's meant to teach us to die to our selfishness, to not be self-centered, to not be self-focused or self-serving. The fact that you have to love a spouse who can at times be difficult, the fact that you need to care for and raise children, these are opportunities that the Lord gives us to focus on serving others, because our Lord's kingdom is a servant's kingdom, as we've noted in other reflections. So we need to actually begin to live that here and in the home in particular. True companionship grows where there is emotional, spiritual, and physical intimacy and unity. When spouses actually learn to focus on the needs of the other, not on their faults, and not just on my own wants. So husbands need to love their wives, not just with a sensual love, but with a sacrificial love, as St. Paul says in Ephesians 5:25. A sacrificial love means that sometimes for different reasons, marital relations need to be abstained from. And husbands need to have the maturity and the self-control to be at peace about that. And they need to show respect for their wives in this matter. In general, your spouse's love for you will grow when you show respect for them and you demonstrate a humble servant's heart. And respect includes being merciful and understanding toward your spouse in their struggles, but it does not mean embracing or encouraging or enabling bad or immature or sinful behavior. You need to give your spouse grace, but the two of you should also be respectful of each other's boundaries. It's not appropriate, for example, that one spouse always needs to know what the other spouse is thinking, or that what the content is of all their conversations with other people, or they need to know every detail about their past. If you insist on knowing everything all the time or whenever you ask, that can actually feel like abuse. And it can at times be a violation of the other person's interior life. Some things your spouse only needs to share in confession or with a counselor or with the Lord himself. Pressuring your spouse to reveal all that you want to know can be disrespectful of their dignity. And I think that men in particular, in general, we need to have more of a chivalrous approach to marriage. Men must protect and defend their wives, yes, but they also have to honor and cherish and reverence them too. Husbands need to address even the minor concerns of their wives, and wives should be in tune with their husband's concerns. And both spouses need to cultivate the art of listening to each other. Playing the blame game is not respectful or mature. It's what Adam did in the garden, right? He blamed God, he blamed Eve, he blamed everyone but himself and the devil. Instead, each spouse needs to have the humility to admit their faults and work on correcting themselves. Oftentimes in marriage, the respect that you give is the respect that you will get back in return. So disrespect towards your spouse and immaturity, those two things go hand in hand. Just like respect and maturity go hand in hand as well. We all have parts of our character that still need to mature, so we shouldn't get discouraged or lose heart. We should ask our Lord and Our Lady every day for the grace to grow and to learn, and for the humility to become the spouse that our Lord desires us to be. I'm Father Terrance. Ave Maria. These are just a few thoughts about being respectful in marriage. Please continue to pray for me, and I will continue to pray for you as well. God bless you and take care.